Hi, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick.
And my name is Chris. And Nick, what have we got in store today?
Well, today we are answering that question that we've been posed, Chris. Is 100,000 vet enough? And so this question is an interesting one because, if you ask me personally, I would say no. And if you ask Chris, he would also say no. But I do think that 100,000 may just be enough for the everyday user. So we're going to dive into that, Chris. We're going to have a bit of a cheeky look at Vechain and try to figure out if 100,000 vet is actually enough for the everyday user. So as always, if you find this useful and informative, do go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really does appreciate it. And if, as always, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll be kept up to date with the live streams and videos that we do here on Cheeky Crypto. Chris, let's jump over to the markets and see what's been going on and take a cheeky look at Vechain here and then try to answer this question in a bit of detail.
Yeah, let's do it. I love this project, Nick. Let's get straight into it.
Fantastic. Right. So here on CoinMarketCap, we can see that we are on a whopping $522 billion. So slightly down, I think, since we were streaming last night. And you can see that Bitcoin slightly down here. Ethereum 3% up, XRP 18% for the day, and 59% for the week. Chainlink 0.9, Polkadot 2.10, Cardano 4.2, Stellar 5.6, and Vechain here at 2.4 for the day and 17% for the week. Some other good ones to shout out here is things like if I can find them. We've had Fetch AI up at 20% for the week, Singularity Net at 14% for the week. We have RSR at 32%. So some pretty good growth all around, Chris, really. Stellar at 23, XRP obviously at 59, Bitcoin at 12, and so forth. But let's take a cheeky look here at Vechain. So if we click into Vechain here, we can see what's going on. So Vechain is currently trading at 1.3 cents. Okay, and that's current market cap is at 857 million USD. So trading volume here is 196 million in USD. Circulating supply is 64 billion with 86.7 billion total supply. And the chart's looking quite nice, I guess, for the all-time view here in terms of what's going on. And if we scoot down here, we can see the all-time high was 2.2 cents, which happened earlier this year in August. Okay, so those are the targets and the aspirations of what we were currently looking at. Now, anyone who's kind of familiar, I guess, with Vechain and the project, it's mainly or was kind of starting out on Ethereum. It then left Ethereum and created its own blockchain, the Vechain 4 blockchain. And I think that's quite a positive move from Sunny Lu there to kind of build something more dedicated to what they need and to remove the limitations that Ethereum was causing, such as scalability and gas fees, etc. Right? It's a twin token system. So they have the VET token and the V4 token. So the V4 is the fuel, what you use for the actual transactions in V4 in Vechain, and the VET token basically is used to stake. And while staking that, you can then earn V4. Okay, so the platform itself was mainly kind of designed for supply chain, but it's evolved a little bit, hasn't it, Chris? It's now taking on a few different things. So it's diving into a little bit of the entertainment business. It's diving into a little bit of DeFi. It's also looking at tokenization of many different real world assets. It's fantastic. It's getting into all sorts of different things, as well as obviously where it started with supply chain and authentication of products. Right, so luxury products are using it to authenticate those in the blockchain. Now, there are some really big partners with Vechain as well. So we have people like BMW, Renault, Walmart China, H&M, and a whole host of luxury brands as well, all utilizing the V4 blockchain to basically authenticate products, making sure that you have that full traceability, from farm to plate, if you will, in the case of Walmart. And if you look at things like H&M, they'll track in the cotton that is grown in a field to the factory that the actual garments were made, and then they can scan the QR code on the actual item and find out the full traceability. There's also examples with wine as well, luxury bottles of wine, where you can see where the grapes were grown, where they were transported, how long they were in a factory for, how long it took the bottle to get to the store, and who owns the bottle now. So lots of fantastic things happening with Vechain. Now, we get into this question of how much Vechain do we need, and then that 100,000 crops up, right? So 100,000 vet, is that enough? Now, as we kind of alluded to at the start of this video, if you would ask Chris here, is 100,000 Vechain enough?
So again, it depends on the individual and how much money they really want out of the project, right? Out of their investment. So I think, yeah, it probably is for an awful lot of people that are invested in Vechain. However, if you were to ask me how much I would invest in Vechain personally, I would be saying around the 1 million mark would be sufficient for my level of goals.
Absolutely, and I have the same kind of aspiration. I always think that 1 million is the target. But that being said, we have very different goals to maybe many other people. We're here in the crypto space for generation level wealth, not just a personal wealth for me, but also generations to come. So very different aspirational goals, perhaps. So 100,000 may just about do it for you if you're just thinking, I just want to be certain numbers, etc. So let's break this down a little bit further, right? So we can see that there's 86.7 billion Vechain tokens, in total supply. So the question here that I ask myself is, do I see $86.7 billion going into Vechain? And yes, I do. I see that being very reasonable, and yes, that's definitely something I could see. And in which case, that means that a vet token would be worth $1. Okay, just based on those kind of tokenomics, right? Very basic stuff. So if we were then to get more complicated about it and start thinking, okay, well, let's take a look at Vechain a little bit deeper. How does it work, right? So Vechain works by burning V4, right? So every time you want to create a block, you're going to burn a bit of V4 in order to do so. Now, obviously, these are very big companies and organizations who are using the platform, right, and using the blockchain. Now, if they were buying and purchasing V4, which they could do, would be costly to them to keep doing that for every single block that they want to create, and they're going to be creating a lot of blocks. So actually, it's a little more cost effective for those organizations to go ahead and actually purchase a vet in large quantities, and then actually stake that quantity to earn the V4 that they require to operate on the blockchain. Okay, and if they do that, which I believe they are, then they'll actually take out of circulating supply a lot of Vechain tokens, right? So lots of that vet token will just not be available to buy. And so therefore, the value will actually go up because there'll be less and less vet available the more and more players that Vechain bring on board. So the more that we see new partnerships with Vechain, the more bullish I get on acquiring more vet. And because ultimately, they all of these businesses, large and small, will require V4. Now, they have obviously two options: to buy it or to earn it via staking. And obviously, the most economic way to do it, from a most business viable way to do it, would be to just invest in the Vechain token, the vet token, and stake it, right? So I believe that we'll see high demand and low supply for vet in the future. So give it 10 years, when a lot of big organizations and companies have been onboarded onto the Vechain 4 blockchain, we will see such a demand for vet that the prices will just explode. And I've seen analysts talking about $80 vet tokens and a whole host of different prices in between, right? So we have a very modest, in my opinion, $1 all the way up to something as crazy as potentially even 80, but it could even go higher than that if the demand is really there. So But then go back to that question: is 100,000 enough? Is 100,000 enough if you get to an $80 valuation? And then yes, absolutely. Is 100,000 tokens enough if Vechain got to $10? Well, there's a cool $1 million return on investment if it does. So I think absolutely 100,000 is enough for the everyday individual. Personally, for us though, we're targeting 1 million. We think that a 1 million is going to give us a much bigger chance to achieving our personal targets for the crypto space here of generation level wealth. And we do see this as a long-term project, not something that you want to be thinking of you can turn over in 2 or 3 years. This is something you'll probably want to be invested in up to probably 10 years or so, wouldn't you say, Chris?
Yeah, and I think that doesn't mean that we're not going to see bumps in price along the way. I mean, as soon as we see that Coinbase listing, once that happens, you're going to have Vechain VET token available to more individuals, because for all that's said, it's quite complicated to buy some of these tokens when they're not on like a platform like Coinbase for certain individuals that are new to the space. And we're part of 1% of people that are in the space early. So, we've got another 99% of people that, could, or maybe in the future will get in.
Absolutely. So guys, hopefully this kind of helped steer you in the right kind of direction, at least in our opinion, on Vechain and the Vechain 4 blockchain. And if you found it useful and informative, then definitely go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really does appreciate it. And as always, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with all of the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Take care.